Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be working on week 50 in my Project Life album for 2020. For this particular spread, I am using the Paper Person subscription kit that was released in November. Yes, this was the November kit. I already used half of this kit for one of the spreads in my November month, and then a lot of it was really wintry themed, so I saved that to use in a week where there was more wintry stuff happening. So this was perfect, perfect week to get the rest of this kit used up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward while I get everything here assembled. And then once everything is done here, we'll slow back down. I'll give you guys some closing remarks, and then that will be it for today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so jumping into this spread for today, the first thing I'm going to do is take some of the embellishments and the cards that came in this kit and turn them into smaller embellishments. So the first thing I did is this one that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is all one big embellishment cluster, and I thought it would be really fun to cut them apart into the individual days in order to add those on the pictures that are on those specific days. So when I went to create the spread or to figure out what photos I wanted to print for this week, I did make sure to print at least one picture from each of the days. So then there was this card that came in the kit, and it's got all of these like labels on it, and none of them are complete labels. They all go off the edge, which is not a big deal for me at all because I actually kind of like the look of that, but I didn't have enough of them from the one card. So one of the things that's really cool about the Paper Person subscription is that you also get the digital cards as well. And those just come right along with the kit. So I pulled that open, grabbed the card that had those labels on it, and printed a second one. That way I had enough labels to put on all 7 of the days, so the photos for the 7 days, plus an additional one that I could put in my title for my week, my date stamping. So once I had all of those cut out and put to the side, the next thing I wanted to do was to create the titles on my journaling cards. I knew that I was going to do this prior to printing off my journaling. So what I did is I pulled the stamp set, which this is the stamp set that came in the kit. It's got Monday through Sunday, and all of those words or abbreviations or whatnot have a space inside of them to stamp a second word. So for these ones, really for all of them, I'm going to stamp the word documented. And I pulled out 2 different inks to do that in. One is Honeyman and one is Olympia. Those are both from Ali Edwards. They're Crafters inks. But my black ink that you can see there, that is from scrapbook.com. It's the premium black dye ink. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I knew that this is how I wanted to set up all of my journaling cards for this week. So I took that stamp over to my computer with a ruler and measured how tall those stamps were, and I believe they are 2 inches tall or just shy of. So when I created my canvas to add my journaling to, I made it the 3x4, but then I stuck a guideline at that 2-inch mark to make sure that all of my journaling went underneath the 2 inches. That way when I had them all printed off, I knew that I could stamp the title up at the top there, the date or the day title, and that it wouldn't interfere with anything that I had already typed onto the card. So it worked out really nicely. Then I'm just going to take this documented stamp and I'm going to alternate it so that it's yellow and then that tealy color and then yellow and then the tealy color, just to give this a little bit more color since the cards are black and white and I stamped the title there in black. It was a lot of black and white. So putting the color in there does help to break that up just a little bit. All right, so now we've got all of those created. I'm going to pull them down here into the spread just to give myself a good overview of how everything is looking. And then I'm going to start placing some things around, figuring out where to put these embellishments. Essentially what I'm going to do is tape down using my ruler adhesive, I'm going to tape down the day that I had fussy cut out on top of those labels and then put those on top of the pictures that they go to. And that's pretty much going to be my embellishing for this spread. I think I may have also gotten out my Puffy heart stickers, but I can't remember. We'll have to see that as we get closer to it. While I'm doing this, and I should also mention that I'm going to create my own title card. So I pulled out an older card from one of my feature craft kits. On the back of all of those is a grid pattern, and I just liked that it was pretty plain. So I'm going to take this card right here, add some adhesive to the back of it, and I'm just going to tape it on top of that grid paper a little bit, what I want to say, towards the top, so that there's a section there at the bottom where I can add my week number and my date stamping. One other thing I will mention is that at the beginning of this video and at the end of this video, I think the entire time that I'm working on week 50, but I'm actually working on week 51. It's not until I turn off the camera and start to take my pictures of my layout that I realize that this was actually week 51. So luckily I just used some stickers from the paper person kit. Right here you can see, well, actually in a second here you'll be able to see it. I used stickers from the kit to add my week title and number on there. So it's just as simple as removing the 0 and adding a 1, and then everything is fine. It's so silly. I don't know why I had it in my mind that there are 51 weeks in a year, because I know that there are 52, but you know, we all have brain farts sometimes. So while I finish up on my embellishing and all that kind of stuff, I can tell you about the pictures and the stories that I chose to tell for my project life spread. Since this entire week is in amongst my December daily, the larger stories went into my December daily itself. So these are all much smaller things, or stories that didn't necessarily make it into December Daily. So from Monday, I talked about getting my advent calendar from my sister. We exchanged advent calendars for Christmas this year instead of doing Christmas presents. Like that was our Christmas present. So the one that she had got for me was from a company called Once Upon a Book Club. And essentially it was a book of 12 short stories and 12 gifts that went along with the story. So as you read it, there is a highlighted passage in each of the stories that signifies the moment for you to open the gift. That way you can understand why that gift was chosen and that sort of thing. And it was a really cool Advent. I would totally do that again. So I talked about that for Monday. For Tuesday, I talked about my kids going a little stir crazy because it's been colder here. So we're inside a lot more than we were in the summer. And my son, I took a picture of him after he had dumped out all of our bins of Legos all over the floor and then was just sitting in them like a maniac. So I took a picture of him and I just talked about how it's been rough a little bit with the kids being inside all the time. And just, you know, sometimes it's just hard to be a parent. So yeah, I talked about that, and Tuesday was rough. For Wednesday, I talked about the announcement for the One Little Word 2021 instructors and the fact that I was chosen as one of those instructors, and that I was really excited about it, and I was nervous about the announcement, and, you know, lots of mixed feelings about all of it, just in terms of like reactions and that sort of stuff. But ultimately that I feel very excited and just honored to be part of the One Little Word instructor group. It's just, you know, things continue to blow my mind in the most awesome of ways. For Thursday, I talked about creating some ornaments with the kids. We typically do some kind of art project on Thursdays here at our house for homeschooling. And for that week, I found this craft on Pinterest, and I thought it was really cute. It's like these little tiny clay pots, and you paint them and turn them into Christmas trees. So super cute. I also talked about the Oprah Winfrey online magazine article that I was featured in with my scrapbooking, which, like, again, blows my mind. It's just crazy. So I snapped a picture or a screenshot of the article and added that. For Friday, I talked about going on a walk, which was awesome to get outside, even though it was snowy and gross. And then also a picture of my daughter in her wild outfit that she chose for herself. I snapped a picture of her because it just made me laugh, and I love that she had tucked her dress into her pants and then her pants into her socks, and it was just like, it was awesome. So of course I had to grab a picture of that. Then I actually have my Saturday and Sunday wrong here on my spread, and I will go and switch those back. So I'll take the Sunday and put it on the other picture, and Saturday and put it on the picture of us baking cookies, because Saturday was the day that we baked cookies and went to a light show, and I kind of did like a day in the life type of documenting for that particular story. So that one was heavily documented in my December daily, but I didn't really have any other stories to tell for Saturday, and I still wanted to include something from Saturday on here. And then for Sunday, I just talked about the kids playing with each other and how it just makes me really happy when they play and get along and all that jazz. So those are the pictures I chose for this week and the stories for this week. And then the last thing I'm doing here is I went and grabbed some of my Puffy heart stickers. These are from Ellie's studio. I keep a ton of them in my stash because I love them. And I'm just adding one to each of those little label clusters. And that's it. All right, friends, so that finishes up my spread for today. I, true to form, went very journaling heavy, but I really love how that large stamp from Paper Person worked out to make the titles for Monday through Sunday. That's one of my favorite ways to do Project Life, is to just do a little bit of journaling about each of the days, and usually pertaining to one or two images that I pick from that particular day. So that is going to be it for this one. I've got one more spread, which, although week 51 is technically the 21st to the 28th or the 27th, I actually am going to take it all the way to the end of the year. So it is going to be more than a week's worth, but most of that is documented in my December daily already. So it's just some of the smaller stories. My birthday was in the next week, and then also celebrating the new year. So the next one is going to be my last spread for this particular album. Just a heads up that it will be more than a week, because that's how I like to end this, is just go all the way to the end of the year. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of the content I have coming your way in the future. Until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.